Hello everyone! Welcome back to Reading Through the Generations. I'm Precious, and if you're new here, this is Carol, my mother-in-law. She is a fellow bibliophile and author, and whenever she's up here for a visit, we try to get together and do a bookish chat. So Carol, why don't you start with all your books?
Okay, well, I'll start with one that I finished just a few days ago. It's called The Benevolent Society of Ill-Mannered Ladies. And it's, well, if you just imagine if Jane Austen had been writing about kind of middle-aged renegades and her time, that's what this book is. And it's both very funny. There are serious bits, but it's full of adventure that these two middle-aged, I guess, they're in their 40s, women who are, one is a widow and the other one is her sister who was never married. And they, they just set out to help people who are in trouble, which means acting very unlike well-mannered ladies of their time, and it's really fun. Great fun to read. And this is kind of a modern version of the same thing. This is Plansky's Revenge. I haven't finished it yet, but yeah, it's a current day elderly lady in Florida. How does she... A recent widow in her 70s is settling into retirement in Florida while dealing with her 98-year-old father, which is really funny, and fielding requests for money from her beloved children and grandchildren. And then she gets scammed by, one of those, it's a telephone scam for someone who pretends to be her grandson. But instead of just losing everything and giving up, she gets angry. Good for her. In a courageous bid for justice, Mrs. Plansky follows her only clue on a whirlwind adventure to a small village in Romania to get her money and her dignity back. So I'm looking forward to finishing that one. And the last of the fiction that I'm just not very far into, but I'm thoroughly enjoying, and probably a lot of people haven't heard of, The Best Laid Plans by Terry Fallis, Fallis, just in case you're worried about the alliteration. And he's a Canadian writer. It's political satire, more than satire, it's very funny, but of the politics in Canada, which are not that different from politics anywhere else, especially the US. And it's not only illuminating, it's very, very funny. And it opens with him falling in a pile of dog poop.
We've all been there.
We've all been there, exactly. So I'm really enjoying it so far.
And it says, I just noticed, that it's also a new TV series. Have you heard about that?
I haven't, but
I haven't either.
It might be only in Canada? I don't know. But anyway, I'm really enjoying it. It's a Canadian publisher, so...
Yeah, and probably is a Canadian series. Then.
But maybe we can get it someday.
Yeah, definitely.
And the last one that I wanted to mention, which it's not fiction, is Andy Merrifield's book, The Wisdom of Donkeys, Finding Tranquility in a Chaotic World. As you can see, I will read anything that has a donkey in it.
I got her that shirt.
I will model it here. And it's a delightful book. It's a little bit like Stevenson's Travels with a Donkey, but this is more current day with a little more, I don't know, kind of the wisdom of donkeys thrown in, and it's almost every page has something wonderful on it. So I really recommend this book. Not only if you don't have to like donkeys, but you will love it even so. And there we are.
Lovely.
And now it's your turn, dear.
Well, one of the books that I finished earlier in the week was a delightful story called By Ash, Oak, and Thorn by one of my most new favorite authors, Melissa Harrison. If you need a cozy adventure story that delves into deeper themes, this one is it. We follow Moss, Cumulus, and Burnett, who are the last remaining hidden folk in the area of the forest that they live in England. And they've just awoken from their winter slumber when an ash tree falls on their house. And so they have to go on this dangerous journey together into the Mortal's Hive, which is their term for the city, in hopes of finding other folk like them, because they're hoping that they will have the answers to this mysterious illness that is affecting their beloved friend Cumulus, who is the most ancient out of the bunch of friends. He was born in the time of the dinosaurs, so he is extremely special to them. And it's just a wonderful story about friendship, community, resilience, the sacredness of Mother Nature, and just protecting everything that we city dwellers often take for granted. And I will definitely be giving this book to all the young readers in my life. It's so wonderful.
And can I borrow it when you're done?
My mom that's why I'm not holding up a copy. I gave it to my mom to read. So Mom, if you're watching, I want it back. So Carol can borrow it, please. And then another book I finished is this marvelous one called When We Were Birds by Ayanna, Lloyd, Banwo. This was, oh my goodness. I've been on a Caribathon kick this year, and I read Poppy Show by Leonie Ross and These Ghosts Are Family by Maisie Card, and this is the newest one I read, and it is absolutely marvelous. It's set in Trinidad. We follow two perspectives. First one being Darwin, who was raised Rastafarian by his single mother in the countryside. And as such, he has taken a vow to never cut his hair and never, ever to handle the dead. But times are tough in Trinidad, and the only work he can find is as a grave digger in the city. So he ends up moving to the city, cutting his hair, and becoming a guardian of the Fallis cemetery, ultimately severing ties with his devout mother. The other character we follow is Yajidi, who has grown up on creation myths that were handed down to her by her grandmother, and really is in rhythm with the rules of the dead, unlike Darwin. When her mother gets ill, well, let me back up. As she grows up, she realizes the significance of these creation myths, and ultimately finds out that she comes from a line of very powerful women who are the direct descendants of black vultures, which are called Kobo in Trinidad and Tobago. And it is believed that they are the sacred guardians of the dead who help them go into the afterlife, and in doing so they maintain the balance between the living and the dead. So when her mother gets ill, because this necromancy gift and legacy is handed down the matriarchal line, she doesn't feel prepared or ready for such a responsibility. And you just see how their destinies cross paths and the secrets that they uncover about the Fallis cemetery. It was such a tender and compelling story about how our family bonds really firmly set our roots into the past, and highly, highly recommend this book. It was absolutely gorgeous.
Where does the title come from?
It's related to the creation myths.
Oh, okay.
The black vultures.
All right.
Because, yeah, they believe they're the direct descendants of these birds. So, yeah.
Well, you know me, I'll read anything with a bird in the title, so.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful on the outside and just as beautiful on the inside. And then August is Women in Translation Month, which I'm very excited about, and I'll be representing the Philippines because I'm half Filipina, and I can't wait to share with you what I'll be reading for that coming up on the 11th for Mid-Month Book Bash. And then the Magical Aurelium Autumn Equinox Readathon also will, I'm hoping my TBR and vlog for that will come out next week for you all. So if you haven't already subscribed, please be sure to hit that notification bell so you find out what I get up to in the month of August. And if you liked this video, please give us a cheeky thumbs up. And until next time, take good care everyone. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.